Hello class, this is Mr. Broussard, and I'm sending you this video for the second week of our World Literature course for the fall of 2020, second 8 weeks. Wanted to send this, I'm sending it a day early actually than I was planning because there's a very good chance we will not be here at all either tomorrow or Thursday. Nothing has been set in stone for us, but for those of you who are not aware, there's a hurricane coming and the projected path is landing here. In fact, the last I saw, it's the center of the eye is hitting the Biloxi Yacht Club. So just to make you aware, in case you're oblivious to what's going on. And in that, they haven't made an official announcement, but there's a chance that I will not be here until the earliest Friday. And therefore, I wanted to make sure I sent this video to you now. I just want to let you know what it is that we are covering for this week. As you see, hopefully you have your syllabus and you can see it and read it. This week you will read the Epic of Gilgamesh, pages 33 to 88. And that's all as far as the reading is concerned because, well, it is a 55-page epic. So that's all you really need to read as far as the amount of content that is concerned and what you will be doing as far as that. The reader responses were turned in earlier today. Some of you, again, I never thought I'd have to say this. A couple things. One, and I don't know if I'm preaching the choir because I'm saying on the video, hey, watch the videos. But some of you aren't watching the videos, or if you are, you're watching it, but you're not paying attention because some of the most basic instructions that I gave in last week's video aren't being followed, and you're going to lose points accordingly. I've only graded a few of the reader responses because of other work I have to do, in particular preparing to possibly not be here for a few days. So I've got through everyone's, which is eyeballing a few of yours. There's certain things that you're doing that if you had watched the video and paid attention to the video, you would know not to do. So your grade will reflect that. So watch the video. Watch this video that you're watching now, hopefully, but pay attention. Don't just watch and don't be like, it's on, but I'm like, doing this or whatever else you want to do other than watch the video. You need to pay attention because these are the instructions, and the way the instructions for your work will be promoted. And you go and saying, hey, you didn't give any instructions. Like I gave fairly thorough instructions to you. You just didn't pay attention and or watch the video. That's on you. You have to have the intellectual curiosity to actually go looking for the instructions. If you see on your canvas there's a little blue dot somewhere, that means something has been posted. You need to click that and then watch whatever it is there or read or whatever it is. Announcements tab is how most of the things I will communicate to you will be through the announcements tab. The only things I'll probably do other than that will be through your individual drop boxes in the comments boxes in the side. That'd be the only other way I do it, and that'll only be on your individual work if I do it even then. Most of my communications will be either video form or in some cases type form, but it'll always be under the announcements tab. So you have to actually go and do things yourself. We're actually, and this isn't just y'all. I've talked with my fellow instructors here in the language arts department. I've talked, in fact, today with someone in the science department, and they're all on the same issues. Y'all aren't taking the initiative to look for the things that you need to look for. And we can't spoon feed you. We wouldn't be doing that anyways because this is a college. Contrary to popular belief, it's not the 13th grade. We actually literally can't do that because we aren't in contact with y'all. I mean, it's an online course. This is the most contact we make, and as much as I try to show presence through the screen, I can't just reach through to you and say, hey, do this thing. You have to take that initiative. There's nothing really we can do about it. You're adults now. So you need to take that initiative. When you watch the videos, and two, pay attention to the videos when we give you the instructions and do what we say. Otherwise, your grade will reflect it. And in some cases, you will no longer be a student because you'll miss certain work, and you miss a certain amount of work in an online course. You are no longer in that course. The way things work, and we don't have time to wait for you. Especially this class, it's only 8 weeks. So you have the Epic of Gilgamesh. Oh, actually, before I get that, there is one other thing. This is another thing that I never thought I'd have to say, but I think I said it in the video too last week, and I'll say it again. AM means morning. Let me repeat that for you. When you're given a time and it says a.m., that means it's in the morning. So when something is due at 2:59 a.m., that means early in the morning. In fact, most of you should hopefully be asleep at that moment. That means you don't have all day on, let's say today, October the 27th, to get something done. You only had 2 hours and 58 minutes in the actual day, that is October the 27th, to get that work done and turned in. Because once it hits 2:59 a.m. in the morning on the date, let's say October the 27th, it locks you out. And I've been nicer than I normally would be with some of you that have messaged me and sent the work to me, and in accepting it as under the announcements tab. This is the only time I will do that, and I will only accept it until 5 p.m. today. 5 p.m. October the 27th. After that, I will not accept any more, and you will earn your 0. AM means morning. PM means afternoon or evening, I think I said in the video last week, my hope is that those of you who confuse this are just partiers who think of 2:59 a.m. as still the night before, in which case I understand. But in an academic sense and a real world sense, it's early in the morning. And when that thing locks out, you're locked out. And from now on, it's going to lock you out anyways, but I'm not going to accept anything after 5 p.m. today for any work for the rest of this course. So just know what time things are. And if you're given an assignment that, let's say, due at 2:59 a.m. on October the 27th, 2020, what you should do is have it completed and turned in maybe before you go to bed on October the 26th, or even earlier. You could always get it done earlier, believe it or not. The boxes I usually leave open for about a week for you to get things done and get things turned in. So please know that AM means morning, and know the exact time when things are due. And from now on, no boxes will be being reopened, and I will not accept anything through an attachment beyond today at 5 p.m. Y'all are sophomores. Y'all, this is not a mistake y'all should be making. And I can give more leeway for freshmen. I can give even more leeway to those in developmental studies. I shouldn't be giving this leeway, quite frankly, to sophomores. And so yeah, AM means morning. So back to the work at hand. Read the Epic of Gilgamesh. You will have a reader response for the Epic of Gilgamesh. I will say this again because it's something I've already seen. You want a nice balance between the analysis and dealing with thematic elements, symbolism, certain motifs that are similar to other works, certain character analysis if you want to delve into the characters themselves. But you want a nice balance between that element, the analysis element, and the parts that are summary. And this is the way it should work. You have the point of analysis, whatever one you would know to do, immediately backed up with the part of the story that deals with it, and then tell your reader why it does. So it's what we call a well-integrated analysis. The part of summary backs it up, and then show how that analysis is backed up by the part that is there. And in the end, it comes to a nice balance. You should have half and half in a sense. But it needs to be well integrated. It needs to be at least that balance, and it needs to be well integrated to where it's not, because I did see this on one of the few people I have looked at, to where like the first paragraph is all analysis and then the second paragraph is all summary. You don't want that, because it's almost like your reader has to go back and forth between the two to try to match the analysis with the part of the story that backs it up. I'll be extra careful about how much summary, because I don't want a straight summary. I don't want a complete summary of the story. I already know, I assigned these works, so I already know what's in the story. I need to know that you know the part of the story that backs up the point of analysis that you want to bring forth. That's the importance of these reader responses and for the one point of analysis, and then that's what will be the ultimate responsibility of what you'll be needing to do for your essays, when you have to bring up 3 points of analysis, all backed up with the parts of the story or stories that do back it up with a proper thesis and a proper conclusion, at least 1,000 words. Another thing, no source material whatsoever. There's only one thing in this class that'll have any source material, and that will be the research essay. So I think one of you had an issue with that. Please be forewarned now, because it can cause some major issues, at the very least zeros, and at the worst, academic integrity violations. So be forewarned on that. Also, and I said this last week as well, larger works of literature, the titles are italicized. If they're smaller works, they put in the quote marks, but really the only one you deal with in this class, to be honest, is the Lostic and Landville, which are the two lays that you'll be dealing with when you get to that part of Marina France's work. Everything else is a larger work, and therefore italicized title. So if you reference now, something I did notice, I had your essay due on Tuesday this week coming. I don't think I want to do that, actually. I do have the ability, with the schedule and the way it works, to give you an extra week beyond when you have your groups of literature in the ancient world, in the Middle Ages, and in the Renaissance. I have the ability to give you that extra week if need be. Now, it does run you up pretty tight at the end of the semester, because you'll end up with an essay due on a Monday and then a research essay due that very following Friday. But I think that'll allow a little more comfort than some of you might freak out, because, yeah, technically you have an essay that is due less than a week from today, actually, because it's initially scheduled for Tuesday, November the 3rd. What I'm going to do is your reader response is now going to be moved to Tuesday, November the 3rd, and then I'm going to move the essay itself to the following Monday. So essay itself to the following Monday. That gives you almost an extra week to get it done. But you know what it also means? It means if you have any questions about the essay, you had better get those questions in before 11 a.m., also still morning, on, let me do the math correctly, or look at my calendar even better, November the 6th. So 11 a.m. November the 6th, I'm gone, and you, by the time I'm back, it'll already be due. That means get your work done in advance and get a hold of me in case you need to have those questions. Otherwise, you're in the dark. Don't expect a response from me, and don't get angry when you don't get a response over my weekend. So it's up to you to be responsible enough to get what needs to be done on the time when it is done. Because you did register for an 8 weeks course, so it's more on you to get those things done when they need to get done. So just want you to be aware of that. But I will give you the extra week. So I'm going to move some due times. The reader response that was due on November the 2nd at 2:59 is now going to be due November the 3rd at 2:59. Now, it doesn't mean 2:59 a.m. So that doesn't mean you have all day on the 3rd to get it done. Get it done on the 2nd before you go to bed, the reader response stuff. The essay that will deal with one of the works of the ancient world, or multiple if you would like to have more than one of the works in the essay, that will now be due Monday, November the 9th at 2:59 a.m. Now, what does that mean? Sunday, November the 8th, before you go to bed, that essay needs to be done and edited, revised, proofread. Hopefully you remember that from Op 1, and then turned into the proper Dropbox. So I will give you that extra time. But again, if you have questions and you don't ask them to me by the time I leave on Friday, and that's 11 a.m. on Friday when I'm gone, you're in the dark. So make sure you get whatever question you need in. But you will get that extra time. So you'll get an extra day on the read response and an extra 6 days on the essay itself. So I will change those dates once I'm done with this video. That's it as far as this week's video is concerned. I don't know when I'll get to grade the rest of your first reader responses, because there's a chance, again, I won't be here for the next couple of days. Nobody will be here for the next couple of days. And there's no promises that I'll be able to do any work at home, because I don't know if I'll have power or internet access, or you will have power or internet access if you're taking this course and you're in coastal Mississippi. So if this hurricane, and there'll be a hurricane again soon, causes extra special issues that we have down here, we will be able to work around whatever schedules we need to. We've already had to be flexible enough because of COVID. We'll have to just be a little more flexible with what we need to get done, and hopefully that'll all work out for all of us. So hope you're all well, and I'll send another video next week.